So I'm really excited to be here. I really am, to share my journey with CBD and how it's supporting me and my family in huge ways. But specifically my children. I have 4 children. One has an autism diagnosis, ADHD, learning disabilities. Like, we run the gamut in this house. Everybody is extremely energy sensitive. So I've definitely reached out for a lot of different modalities in my journey, and CBD has always kind of been in the periphery. A lot of people have brought companies to me in the past and just had, I just didn't ever find like the clinical strength or the quality control that I really was looking for in a company, because my background is in nursing. I am a licensed nurse. I worked in that field for a couple years before I started really taking off and having children as like a full-time job. And so my programming is very clinical and very purity standards are just very high. So I saw that the whole entire CBD industry was kind of a overrun. Everybody was kind of making it. It's in gas stations. It's like all over the place. So how can you really trust a product that doesn't seem to have any sort of quality control in it? So when Jeannie came and introduced this company to me, it was really profound. She is a very profound woman in and of herself. So I was definitely paying attention when she spoke into this product, and she has brought some really amazing people into my reality. Some of them are here today, Katrina and Heidi, and like I said, Jeannie. So I'd like to take a minute and introduce them. Let me just give a wave. I think everybody is mildly familiar with everybody else. So I would like everybody to kind of just share a little bit of their experience and their journey and their expertise that they bring to this call. I just so like I said in the beginning, I'm a health coach, so I really appreciate the let me skip that. I'm sorry, this is so discombobulated. Okay, so what I would like to do, Jeannie introduced this company to me probably about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, maybe not even a month ago. I started using it immediately because the shipping is so quick. I started using it, started seeing how in my body I could get. I started seeing how settled and relaxed and calm I was able to be inside my house in a very overstimulated environment, just because we have so much going on here. And I really wanted to jump in and start helping my children with it. So specifically talking about my 11-year-old who has autism, so much so that she's going to be going to a therapeutic school this September. I started giving it to her immediately because we are definitely having a lot of overwhelm, a lot of anxiety, a lot of sleep issues, a lot of dysregulation with her specifically. So I started with the tinctures, and I started at night with her, and she has been doing amazing. The very first day that I gave her the tincture at night, she actually slept the next day until almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I just let her sleep. Like, child, you need to sleep. Whatever is going on inside your body, you're being supported in a really profound way, because that's so not like her. And from that moment on, I could literally see just her energy coming into her and just aligning and really grounding and not having so much overwhelm and anxiety. One of the biggest markers for me, especially with her, is our nighttime routine with her is very, very, very difficult. She keeps everything inside all day long. And then by the time she gets into bed, there's no settling her down. I have spent years, I trained with Jeannie energy work a really long time ago. I had to bring that into taking care of her at night. Very deep tissue massages every single night for a very long time. Things like having to lay on her, having to squeeze her tightly, having to all of my essential oils, everything that I have in my toolkit, my children have access to. But this has definitely been a massive part of my evening routine, is getting her to be able to regulate so she could sleep. She wakes up in the middle of the night all the time. She has to sleep with somebody at that point, nightmares, all of the things. So it's a very good measure for me. Once I started giving her the CBD, within maybe 3 days, she started asking for it on her own. Every night she has done that. It literally, I could cry right now because it's given me so much. I asked her a couple days ago how she was doing with it, and she said I'm so sorry, my son. Hold on, buddy. She feels so much more calm in her body that she can just naturally fall asleep, as opposed to something like a melatonin or something like that that's going to make her drowsy. She said it relaxes her body like almost instantly. It's something that she now seeks out and looks for. And the biggest measure for me has been the fact that she, for the past probably week and a half, has not asked for a back massage at all. There has been no need for me to go into her room to care for her at night whatsoever, outside of making sure her lights are off and tucking her in. She asks for a big squeeze. Like, she comes into the kitchen, I want to go to bed. Can I have some oil? Squeeze me. So I'll give her a big giant hug and send her on her way. And like, it dawned on me last night when I was thinking about what I was going to put together for this call, how absolutely profound that is in my home, because this child has struggled so much and I didn't even really notice because it's been just a developing part of our life for so long. So the fact that there's been that shift that drastic is like, are you serious? So I'm in love with it. I have been using it. You order a month's supply. I've been using it on other people in my household as well. So I ran out yesterday. I had to order this morning again. And she's like, get it. Because she sees it and she feels it. And that's amazing. So I am grateful to everybody in this call. I am grateful to this company. I am just very grateful because this is amazing. I got completely derailed in the beginning of this call, so I am going to open it up to Jeannie, who can definitely speak into some physical disabilities and just how these products really do help support in all beautiful ways.
Oh my gosh, Ashley, I'm sure I'm speaking for every mom here of how overwhelming, like, I'm just like want to burst out cry and I want to hug you. As a sensitive person, I came into this world with those gifts being widely open and also having what we call disabilities. I had things that other kids didn't have, other challenges, which were dyslexia, with speech issues, not being able to sleep because I had all of this action and people in my room at night, and not understanding how to settle down. And that there's a tool, there's actually this gift of this plant medicine that can support your daughter in self-regulating, in teaching herself how safe she is and feeling that calm. That's exactly what I felt when I started taking it. And after I had that initial call with Katrina about the company, and I was like, a little bit in my head, I was like, no, Katrina, I'm not doing this. And then afterwards I got off the call and it landed in me, and God was like very clear, yes, this is a yes. And I was like, oh my Lanta. Okay. So then I just got busy because I learned to attune to where God brings me, because it's going to bring some semblance of peace. And once I was on the other side and I got my package and we were talking about, Katrina and I, like, communicating, like, how is this going to work? Who am I going to call in? How's it, whatever. And I wasn't really positive on the business side of it because I have a business and energetically I know how to run that, but I don't necessarily know how to run this. So I leaned in with my heart and I asked God, where do I go? And you were the first thing, like Ashley, I just saw you. Like I saw this face and I saw this woman, and I know your struggle. I know the heart of you, and I know how you serve a community. And it's hilarious to watch you not be in your body and then come back in your body. So I can imagine that it's in your household. Your kids probably all could use this CBD, right? So I found huge benefits for myself, for regulating my energy, for regulating the emotional charge that happens when you're around a lot of people that are all over the place, especially those people, for me in my personal life, that are kind of attuned to throwing hate around. And that's where we've been landing in my space with my people. And so I've been using the CBD consistently to stay in my body when I've had to do some big, scary things. And it's really helped me to be able to guide my daughter in a great way. And she's an adult now, she's 37. But she needs me to be able to be in my body and not be overly emotional with what was happening with her in her life and her ex-husband. And I was able to do that because I had the tool of being able to meditate and use all my other things, but the CBD gave that extra balance. So I feel like I'd love for Katrina to come on and kind of share a little bit about why that's possible with what our body, how our body regulates, and offer the science part of that.
Yes, absolutely. And just Ashley, that was so, so powerful. And I totally understand that feeling of like, it can be so overwhelming, and like, just your share is so, so powerful. And I feel like so many people need to hear that message, that CBD is a tool that can support us as moms and our children. My daughter has some mild anxiety, and my son's has some hyperactive behaviors, and I'm just so thankful to be able to support them with CBD and just see how they can really just transform from feeling overwhelmed and to just being able to really thrive in their lives. So it's so, so beautiful. And there is a scientific reason why CBD works, why CBD is such a beautiful, powerful healing modality. And that's because we have an endocannabinoid system. Has anyone ever heard of it? Unless you're on the team, probably not, because it was recently discovered in the 90s. And frankly, it's just not taught a lot in schools. But what it is the ECS, which is short for endocannabinoid system. It actually helps to control so many of our major functions. So our central nervous system, our immune system, our digestive system. And what happens over time is that our ECS gets depleted. And our ECS, we have receptors in our brain, in our bones, like all over our body for cannabinoids, like CBD, like CBDA, like the CBG. And it helps to really support our ECS, which then supports all of the other functions in our body. And there is that scientific reason of why it's so powerful, because when you take CBD, you are supplementing what is basically deficient through stress, through, the food. Even if we eat like really clean food and really good, like there's still just toxic things in the world, right? We live in an imperfect world. And so our ECS gets depleted. And by taking CBD, we really are able to support this incredible system in our body, which then helps to bring homeostasis into our life, balance in our life. And even, if you're doing certain types of techniques and tools like breath work and meditation to help support your nervous system and help bring balance, I really feel like CBD is like the bridge between the meditation and life, right? Life happens, things happen. And so to have CBD, it's like really this beautiful support system that bridges us from when we're doing that inner work to when we're just living our lives. And it's been so helpful for me and my family. And I love to understand kind of like why that is. And that is because of the endocannabinoid system.
That's wonderful. Yeah, it classifying it in my head as like an adaptogen, something like a superfood ashwagandha, like ginseng. It just goes into your body and kind of seeks out those holes and just supports them in the moment there. And it's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating.
It is. And I know Heidi has like just an incredible story to share with how it's helped her and her family. And it would be so helpful if we could also kind of talk about the business opportunity as well with CBD.
Hi there. Thanks for having me, you guys. Ashley, I'm so touched and moved by hearing your story. And I really feel how much of a positive impact it's had in such a short period of time. And I'm curious and both excited to see how it continues to evolve. One of the ways that CBD works in our bodies is that it has a compounding effect. So we do need to use it consistently, but over time it starts to build up, and 1 month, 2 month, 3 months down the road, I'm very curious to know, just what you and your kids are experiencing. I've been taking CBD consistently for about 6 months now. I really I didn't think that I had a reason to take it. I took it just because my dear girlfriend, Gina Zerlin, was working with the company, and I'm all about optimal health and wellness. I'm like, what do I have to lose? I might as well. And for me, I didn't really experience too many changes the first couple of weeks. But I was committed to the consistency and trying it. And so it was about a month in for me that I had my menstrual cycle, and it was a pretty huge difference. And we're hearing that a lot from women, women that are of all ages, but, especially as I'm 42, especially, as you get into your mid 40s, late 40s, it's like, whether or not you're having hot flashes, or just like periods are getting more intense. I was having more breast tenderness, more cramps, a lot more emotional mood swings, for instead of just 1 day before my period, now 7 days before my cycle. And it was such a drastic difference having the CBD in my system. I'd say that first month I was about 90%. I was like, oh, my boob barely hurt. Oh my gosh, I'm not feeling like I'm like losing my mind. It was like a really big deal. And then that second month, I actually had 0 PMS, and to the point now where I actually need to track my cycle. It's almost to the T every 28 days, and my system is just regulated. I don't know when it's coming. So that's just been my energy is up that week. I actually have to remind myself, like, it's that week, like, slow down, take it easy. It's just been incredible. And then I've just noticed I tend to have really high energy, and I go, 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 go. And I just noticed that it just like, it's helping me just like even out. It's just mellowing me out, and just kind of my nervous system is so much more calm. I do give it to my 9-year-old son. He tends to run just super, super high energy like myself, and high emotions up and down. And his nervous system has regulated. And then my daughter, I don't feel like she really needs the like daily broad spectrum jelly, but she does take the sleep support. And so that's just been huge, just to help her wind down. She's 5, give her half of a jelly at night, and it just helps her like relax in her body. My sister, who I think is on this call, she is giving it to her nephew, and it's my nephew, her son. And it's just made a huge, huge, huge impact with his sleep, with his daily just energy. He's 5, and he's been telling my sister, my brain like can't calm down at night. Like I can't shut my brain off. And so, yes, like I'm all about breathing techniques and giving our kids all the tools. And I do feel like, this is just like an added support. And Gina said something the other day that just really, one of my friends and business partners, that just made, she said, it just feels like my house is more reasonable. like there's moments, whether it's 8:30 in the morning, you're just trying to get the kids out, or it's that 5:00, just like 6:00 witching hour, and everyone's revved up from the day. And it's just like, everyone is more, ourselves included, are more reasonable with our communication and our emotions and all the things. So it's just like taking that like edge off. So, yeah, there's a huge opportunity here. I'm not going to go too much into the business, but, in essence, there's just a beautiful opportunity to share our own experience and our own testimonial, and then invite other people to share. And, I often say we are constantly sharing. Like people ask me, where do you get your hair done? Or do you have any recommendations for restaurants? And I just give that out as we do as women. We're constantly sharing what's working in our lives. And a lot of us are feeling really passionate about the way that this is working in our life. And so it's a natural evolution of, yes, we want to share that. And I think the only reason why we start getting wonky is we start thinking, oh, am I getting compensated for this? Or am I getting a bonus for this? And then we get all weird in our money stories. And really, it's just about standing in our power and knowing that we actually deserve to be compensated for the ways that we want to share. And so there's a few different ways, but I do encourage, if people want to try the product, to do it and get their link and become a part of our community, and you can make it whatever you want. So, Ashley and Jeannie, and we all can answer questions and help with that side of it as well.
Yes, and Ashley and I were talking a little bit before the call. Thank you so much, Heidi. About, we live in Connecticut, we live in the same town, and I have some samples. I just ordered the new jellies and samples. I have some pain cream, and we were just talking about it would be nice to invite people who would be interested in to try it, and that we could answer those questions and kind of just showcase what it is to be in a community with like-minded women that are supportive, that are leaning in, even if you have a business and holding you, or if you want to start and grow and step in and just have a new business if you don't have one already. And what would that look like with the amazing people, the women that are like-minded, that are healers, that have really incredible stories. Ash, do you want to follow up?
I really, really love hearing everybody's stories and experiences with the product. I am just thinking of so much more I could say based off the past couple of weeks that I've had it, but it's, it could go on for a really long time. Heidi, thank you. I forgot about the cumulative effect of this. So that's really exciting, like so exciting. Because it can only go up from here. So that's really amazing. And I'm so grateful to have found this when my children are young and can really appreciate growing up more holistically than, more mainstream right now. So again, thank you to you guys and for just bringing me into this group. It's been really amazing and really full of love, and it's beautiful.
And Ashley, I just want to say one thing in closing about that. I think that there's people that are really hesitant with CBD just because it's new, right? And I just want to encourage people to, whoever listens to this or the recording, take it slow, especially maybe with your kids if you have some apprehension. But it is interesting, like how quickly people they're comfortable giving their kids an antibiotic, and they're comfortable giving their kids melatonin at night, and they're comfortable like all of those things. And it's like this, we actually have cannabinoids in our body, like they're in our breast milk. Like we naturally produce cannabinoids in our system, and we're all depleted for a million different reasons. And so it's just, it's like, I just encourage people to be open, like start with like half of a jelly, a quarter of a jelly with your kids, And especially in this community, it's like, be intuitive, like listen in. Some people on our team do muscle testing with their kids or with themselves in terms of, is it safe? But I just like to reflect that, like, when people are hesitant, it's like, but wait, like, this is actually like organic. If you look at like, it's such clean products, it's so safe. And maybe just think through, like, am I giving my kids or myself other things? And like, what's really stopping me here? So I think there's some mind shifts, that we can all support. This is so beautiful. Thank you. No, thank you. I just wanted to leave it that.
No, that was amazing. And actually, here you go, honey. This is hemp. It's organic hemp, which I think is like the biggest shift. I was just having a conversation with somebody and she's like, well, that's illegal to give your children. I'm like, no, it's hemp. Like, totally not. Totally not. So yeah, thank you. That was
great.
great.
And can I just answer this question? Someone's writing in, great insight. What about this use with other prescription medication? We're not doctors, so we do want to always say, like, consider or consult with your doctor. That being said, it is safe. It is safe. There is a doctor with Green Compass, Dr. Jack Lamb. We were just with him for a few days in Charlotte, North Carolina. What we tend to find is that people over time start to titrate off of medication. So the number of testimonials from moms saying, my kids are actually no longer on ADHD medication, or I'm taking less pain medication, or I no longer need the really intense sleep prescription medication that I'm having, are truly profound, and they just keep coming in. So it's like taking vitamin C, vitamin D. It should be used more of a supplement than on a regular, consistent basis than, oh, I have a headache, I'm going to use CBD. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, that was a very good point. Definitely as a supplement, when you can properly support the functions of your body, disease just tends to not be able to exist in the same environment. So exactly what Heidi said, taking it like a vitamin. This is part of my daily routine. This is now what I do to support the health that I want in my life. Pharmaceuticals, I would assume 100% would just fall away over time, especially when you're raising your vibration. So that's just natural. Anyways, thank you all for coming and joining, and your time and your words and your shares. And I appreciate all of you, and thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and if you're interested to find out more about Green Compass, you can reach out to Ashley. Give your address, your email address.
Ashley@thehealthrescue.com.
Beautiful. And you can always reach out to me, Jeannie@jeanniestreet.com, and we're happy to answer any questions and hop on a call with you.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, everyone.